to the RunRX Podcast, where we talk about all things running. As many runners know, it's 90% mental. So join Coach Valerie and Coach Caroline as we go through the mental side of running.
Hello, and welcome back to the RunRX Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Caroline, and I'm here with Coach Valerie. Coach, you and I are both over 50. I'm a little bit farther down 50 than you are. But we've had some recent really neat aha moments with some of our other runners that are in the same part of life over 50 like you and I are. Tell us the story of one of our runners.
This is a great story. And by the way, it is really funny when you're the one that's 50 or up. Because my whole training career, I am starting year 30 of being a coach. So I was very early. I was 22 when I started my coaching career. And when I would train older people in the beginning, I was afraid to break them. Oh my gosh, this lady's 50. She's, And so I had to really work on my mindset with older people when I was in my early 20s. Well, now here I am in my 50s. And working with people in their 50s, of course, and younger. I still have a lot of young people and older people.
And older,
however,
I was going to say.
We have a lot of older people. However, now it doesn't seem older. My oldest runner, by the way, I know you guys might have heard this story, but he started with me when he was 85 years old and ran with me, trained with RunRX till he was past 90, about 92. And he raced in the Olympics, in the senior Olympics, but mainly his whole thing was he wanted to be able to keep moving well and using elasticity. And he ran half marathons, 10Ks, and it was just so great to work with someone that was willing, like he wanted to stay young, if you will. So now we have to go through, I'm going to share the story of one of our current runners. So she came to us already 50 and injured, and she had a high hamstring injury from her run. So she spent well over a year with us relearning her running movement because she, of course, had injured herself. And so getting more efficient was number one goal. And as she got more and more efficient, she was able to go back to running things like park runs and doing sprint triathlons and getting back to that world she loved of racing. However, she wasn't ready yet to go for speed. Her first goal was, let me just get through this. Let me get back to where I can run and just enjoy running again. So the neat part is recently she said to me, okay, I'm now ready to go back to racing. And what we were both talking about was, one, it's really nice as an older runner to have great memories of my PR back in my 30s.
Yeah.
And also then to be able to say, instead of trying to hit my PR from when I was 30, let me reset for my new age group goals. And so we had a great conversation about it's really nice to accept I am 50 plus. And what does that mean today? Well, it just means I get to see where I am today and make new goals. So the best part, though, is because of the training that we use in RunRX, and mainly it's drills, it's strength, it's self-care, but it's all body weight. We really work on putting you in that optimal position. And it's posture training. I mean, it sounds so boring that way, but it's really helping you hold your body in line. And guys, what happens as you get older, it's so hard. It's harder and harder to maintain that great alignment. So we work on that a lot. And what we found with this runner is not only is she back in alignment and running pain-free, she's now has the confidence and the mindset to think, now I want to test it out on my performance. Now I want to see what I can do. And to me, that's a real high because I meet people generally when they're frustrated and, upset at their injury or themselves because they're not where they used to be. So it's really neat to help someone get through that. But also because I'm in that 50 plus category, I recognize how much more she needed strength and self-care. She was already, and so really getting someone to go through that is the best.
So let's talk about within the RunRX membership. You said that she came on a lot of the Zooms, and we don't have of the membership. It's really crazy, guys. Only probably about not even a full of the, like, I wouldn't even say, it's not even like 10%. It's like 5% of our membership comes onto these Zooms. So it's actually they're kind of private in that regard. But she would come onto the Zooms very consistently. And then she went through the immersion. Talk about how the Zooms, like how that works and how that affects her drilling and her strength. And then let's go into like, how did the immersion help her? Like, how did those two elements of working with you consistently really help her gain this strength, gain this posture, gain this ability?
Sure. Well, here's the main thing with especially with what we do. So what's going through the immersion, the reason we called it the immersion is because in the beginning, most of us think of running only as a movement, but really mainly as an end goal. Like most people will say, I'm going to go run 3 miles. I'm going to go run today. I'm going to go run outside. I'm going to run on the treadmill. I'm going to run the trails. So they know where they're going. They know how far they're going, how fast maybe they want to go. However, no one really talks about the actual movement of running. So when someone gets injured, generally the first thing the doctor tells them is, well, hey, stop running and go cross train or do something different. So when we start with our runners, what we help them understand, and this is why I call it the immersion, is that there's actually a way to move more efficiently in your run. And if you're willing to keep putting yourself in that great position and practice the movement of running, then you will actually not just get back to running quicker, but you're going to be learning and resetting your movement pattern during your recovery. So we say immersion because we want you to really commit and immerse yourself in this new movement. And the fun part is we guide you through it. I mean, you have a daily practice that's about 5 or 10 minutes at the most. So it's not taking a lot of time out of your day. And this is important because I really just want you to commit to the focus of the practice. And then I have this weekly check-in. We have a weekly check-in where you send us your video of yourself doing the practice. It's one thing to see you run, which of course we do gait analysis before and at the end of the immersion so we can make sure you're progressing. I also want to see your movement. I want to see your drill. I may ask you to see a strength exercise. So it's more than just watching running. It's watching your movement patterns. And this is honestly where the strength comes in as well, because for some people, if they have a struggle just balancing on one leg, we've got to work on that because running is basically hopping from, one leg to the other. So what's so nice is we get to work on that individual person that way. Everyone's learning the same thing, right? Running is the universal. We all need to follow the same movement pattern. However, everyone has differences in their body or in their movement or things like that. And that's where me as the coach gets to come in and work on you individually that way.
And with the Zooms, that's also part of the immersion, part of the membership. It's ongoing. Yeah. You do roughly once a week. There's maybe one weekend off a month because we do the Zoom on a Wednesday. But that's an opportunity, even though there's 5 or 6, maybe 10 people in the Zoom space. Right. I kind of want to describe this to people. So what's happening, guys, is me as the runner, I'm going to set myself up where maybe my phone is across the room. I've got my little headphones in so I can hear Valerie and I'm not disturbing my family. Maybe I'm in my bedroom. Maybe I'm in my living room or my basement. And I set it up so that she can see me, my whole body, right? And then we do a drill together, right? Or sometimes we even do self-care. We'll sometimes do strength. It's whatever the group that comes in kind of needs or what you're seeing that week. And then for basically an hour, you're coaching, even though there's a group of us, it's almost like being in a virtual clinic in that you still see me move and you correct me. And then maybe you correct the next person next to me or whatever. Correct. But you're really able to, even in a group setting, spend time with each of us, correct?
Right. And this is, by the way, I really enjoy the Zooms because I can actually talk to you and you can respond. That interaction with your coach is huge. It's one thing to see the videos, which I also appreciate, but to get to actually work together is really nice. So Caroline's right. We really do get a small group. I mean, if we have 6 people, we're like, wow. And I mean that in a positive way, because I think what happens is a lot of people think, oh, I only should come to the Zoom if I'm injured or if I'm new. And I'm here to tell you that anybody that's ever worked with a trainer or coach, man, the more that coach sees you, the better you're going to move, the better you're going to do. So the best part of the Zooms is, yes, it's a group environment with individual attention. So what happens is I give everybody an exercise or a drill to do, and then I watch you individually. So I will actually say, hey, I'm about to watch you. And then I'm about to watch you. So I will tell you you're up.
Yeah.
And then when it's you and I'm watching you, I'm only communicating to you. And meanwhile, by the way, the other people in the group aren't just standing there getting ignored because they have an assignment. And guys, I've been coaching group fitness for 34 years. And I used to coach classes up to 60 plus people, just group fitness, not necessarily running, but just group fitness. So my ability to coach groups is what I do. So I promise you that when you come in, you get the personal attention you need, and everybody benefits. And by the way, one thing to realize, and a lot of runners realize this, they learn from listening to me help the other person. And anyone that's ever worked out in a group environment at a gym can appreciate that. Like, say someone's doing a movement and the coach is giving out a cue, even if they're not speaking to you, you'll think, oh, that's a good cue, or maybe I do that, or maybe not, And the best part, you can ask questions, you can interact, and everybody in our community is amazing. Like, we have a very friendly, open, and everyone's going through that same awkward learning immersion process. So it does bring you together in that way as a community as well.
And that's really part of why we wanted to start the year off this way as one of our first podcasts, is because we've now kind of gone back to our roots a little bit, where what we'd like to be able to offer everybody is the ability to come in and work with Valerie for just a set price per month, and it's cancel anytime. So if you go to runrx.fit and take our quiz, or go to our Instagram page, or go to our YouTube channel, you'll find the link to join the membership if you so desire. We really wish you would. And let's say you come in and you say, well, I just want to do the immersion. You can go, I call it pick your adventure. You can go and do the immersion for just that month. And then if you don't like it, cancel. Not a problem. Or you come in and you do the immersion and you stay for a month or two and go ahead and stay within the membership and continue on your practice, because we have training plans and ways to keep you running. But during that time, whether you come in with the membership or you come in with the immersion, and when I say come in the membership, maybe you've been with us before, maybe you're an avid listener and you came in a couple of years ago, maybe during the pandemic, and you had to drop out for a while and you want to come back in and you're like, I've been through the immersion. I don't have to do that, which I'm kind of being joking, but a lot of people just feel like I'm running fine now. I just want to get another hit. I want a Valerie hit, right? I want to come in and get a gait analysis. I want to work with her for a little bit. I need to get rolling again. Absolutely fine. Still the same price. Come in. But what's great about that price, this is what's so unique about it, is let's say you just stay for a month. You can still get a gait analysis, maybe one at the beginning, one at the end. You can still go on every Zoom, and you can still check in with her, whether you're going through the immersion or you're going through your running plans or you're just going through your normal drill practice. You can interact with her for that month. And of course, we always encourage people to stay more than a month, because we all know that it takes more than 30 days to really get into a good movement pattern, get into a habit, get into some consistency. So we always hope that you would stay for the 3 months that we used to do. We used to kind of commit you to 3 months. And that's still our goal. But I understand that a lot of people right now, with just the cost of living, can't always afford to do 3 months right off the bat. So if you can only afford to come in for a month, maybe you come in for a month then in March, and then you come in, once a quarter, you spend that money and you come in for a month. We're absolutely okay with that. And the point is that we want to help you, and we'd love to see you on the Zooms, and we'd love to see you check in. And we'd love to see you be part of the running community that runs pain-free. So if you're interested in that, go to any of our social media channels, where we're doing a lot more work on YouTube. If you're on that site, We've even opened up a channel, though we haven't put anything on there yet. I'll probably move a lot of the YouTube videos over to Rumble. We're actually getting a little bit more into X and posting some things on there. I follow quite a few different people that believe in healthy living. And so there's quite a few runners out there that post some really great things. And I want to be part of that conversation with Valerie. So if you are on any of the social media platforms, great. If you're not, that's fine too, because guess what? The Zooms, the check-ins, everything is off social media. Even when she goes live in the Facebook group, we put that up into a separate login portal that is totally isolated from social media, so you don't ever have to log in. You can email any questions you have. You can reach out and send in a video of something that's not working quite right. Anything, you got a training plan that you're not quite right and you want to check in on hers. Anything, questions you've got, guys, you do not have to be part of the social media world to communicate and be part of our running groups. Take a look. It's actually, if you want to look it up, it's runrx.fit, FIT, /runrx, join, JOIN, _runrx strong. So that's RUNRXTSTRONG. I'm sorry, it's runrx.fit / join runrx strong. So we'll put that in the show notes, guys, so you can find it. Click the link in the show notes, join us today, and let's get you started for the new year running pain-free. Thanks, guys.
Thank you for joining us on the RunRX Podcast. If you'd like to know more, join us at www.runrx.fit. And if you have additional questions that you'd like answered on the podcast, email us at support@runrx.fit.